world might be this interview right now, because this is the Old School Danny Bean place to be. This is the YouTube channel of Old School Danny Bean Underworld Underground. So now I'm actually speaking to you like a friend level, you know what I mean? But this is an interview first and foremost. So now, well, I'm just gonna start it like that. Fuck it. So my second interview, you know, because I'm very like confident with this interview, because this dude gave me so much knowledge yesterday. It was amazing. You know what I mean? It was one of those conversations that you can just gravitate it and keep it and put it in your pocket and keep it for life. You know, because this dude has a lot of stories. Mind you, this guy is a hardcore lyricist. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is the Ice Cube of the you know how the Ice Cube with the N.W.A, he was the one that written the rhymes and whatnot. Well, this is Alski with the Hooded Figures, a.k.a. the FBI crew, a.k.a. the No Doze Funkmob, a.k.a. King Alski, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, brother. What's going on, man? I appreciate all the props you giving me, man. Like, that's real love, man. I haven't felt that in a minute. You know, and that's big.
As I should, you know what I mean? As I should. And the reason why I'm just doing it all, you know, uncut, you know, it's because this is a homeboy level, you know. We got to know each other. I knew about you for years. You knew about me for years. But yesterday was one of those moments where we first met for the first time unexpectedly, you know what I mean? I was not expecting to know you yesterday, you know what I mean? Because I had to do some personal issues and shit with the car or whatnot. So, you know, I actually ended up going to the Walgreens, and you were happy to be in the corner, you know, chilling with your homies. And we'll get back to that, you know, with your homie, because one of them is brother's legendary, you know, a legendary figure. But we'll get back to that. But anyways, I'm gonna get to this interview. How did you got to name King Alski, and what's the origins of the Hooded Figures? Like the Hooded Figures, a lot of people know you guys as the Hooded Figures, but back in the days, you guys were more known as the FBI crew. So there's a lot of names to you guys. So I'm just trying to understand, and who was behind you? Who was the I want to say like the major company behind you at that time. Can you give me that explanation?
Yeah. Okay. First off, man, my name. I used to listen to a lot of East Coast hip hop, as I still do today. Even though I'm from the West Coast, you know, I'm a Rakim fan. You know, being Rakim guru, you know. But anyway, long story short, I used to love the Fat Boys, man, and they had that cat Kool Rock Ski as one of the MCs.
Damn.
And he was a beast on the mic to me, you know. So when it came down for me to find a rap name, after how my career had went in the beginning, I started out DJing and breakdancing and backup dancing and this and that and whatnot. I hadn't been on the mic. I didn't even know that I could rap. So anyway, Kool Rock Ski was his name, and I wanted to emulate him in the way, kind of the way I was writing at that particular time. So I took my name, Al. I put King in front of it because, of course, I'm a king. And I put the ski up and came up with King Alski. King Alski, Kool Rock Ski, you know.
That's dope. And then, because I asked other questions were how did you get involved with the Hooded Figures or the FBI crew? Because there's so many names to you, but I'm going to stick with the Hooded Figures because that's how most people know you guys, okay? So I'm going to say Hooded Figures instead of the FBI crew. But I'll get back to the FBI because I want to know, the public wants to know, the underground public wants to know what those FBI stands for, those initials stands for. But now, back to that. How did you get involved with the Hooded Figures in the 80s? And we're talking about mid-80s or late 80s? What?
It was about mid-80s, man. I want to say probably like about 84, 85, man.
Wow.
I was one of the best breakdancers this city ever seen, man. And growing up on the west side of Las Vegas, we didn't have a lot of places that we could actually go and get down there. So we mostly just got down right in the street or whatever. So the Doolittle Community Center opened the doors up for us to actually have somewhere to be. And we would go into Doolittle and get on the stage and do our thing, right? So one day I'm in there breakdancing, I'm battling against some of the old cats that were really good at the time, Malcolm X, Ernest, Andre Eagles, and I see this big dude hanging out with them, and his name is Paul. Well, back then, as Pauly always has been, man, you know, he loves to cap on people. He's like a crumb king, you know?
Okay, now, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. Who are you talking about, Pauly? Who is that? Who's that guy? What is his actual name? Is he part of the group or what?
Oh, Pauly Macc is the hooded figures as far as he's the Las Vegas mayor, the Las Vegas ambassador, the Las Vegas god of this hip hop thing.
The Vegas yes, sir. Mhm.
Yeah. So when I met Paul, man, he was talking bad about me.
Wow.
Even though I was killing his boys on that floor, he was talking mess. So, you know, I'm a little dude, but I got heart. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So I stepped to him, and I was like, "Yo, we gonna have to fight. You keep talking to me like that. We got to get him up."
Yeah.
So it kind of went from there to a point to where he looked at me like, this little nigga's kind of tough. I kind of like you, man. Woo, 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 woo. You're a good dancer. I have a rap group, he says, and I'm looking for some dancers, man. You think you might want to be down? So I was like open to it, you know. Yeah, sure. So that's how I got my start out as far as being a part of that original crew of the FBI that turned into the No Doze Funkmob and actually turned into the Figures.
Okay, good. That's good to know, bro. That's beautiful how you said that. And now, because I want to know that the Doolittle Center, where's that at? Does that still exist in Las Vegas? Is that in the west side, the east side, or the north side? Where's that Doolittle? Because that's where you guys met, right? So I wanted to know where's that location at?
Doolittle is really considered a West Side recreational center.
Word.
It sits right on Lake Mead and J Street, which is kind of like a middle point for the West Side and North Las Vegas.
Is it by the Las Vegas Library?
Yes, sir. Right. Yeah, right there.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Dope, bro. And it's still standing to this day. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah, man, they've done a lot of renovations and whatnot, so, yeah, the Doolittle Center is a great place, man.
Doolittle, man.
Me out of trouble.
Shout out to Doolittle Center, man. Yup.
Shout out to Doolittle.
Shout out to Doolittle Center, man. You guys do a lot of good things for the community, man. Shout out to the West Side. All right, man. So, now my second question, or questions. There is a time where you guys started getting notice to the public, and not just the local public. You guys got attention to a major artist, and you guys got inducted to a familiar crew. Tell me about that.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Pauly Macc, this guy's an innovator, and the way he was handling things back then, he was actually able to go back and forth to L.A., and he started himself hanging out with like N.W.A. and Eazy-E and Dr. Dre. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a little history. One of the very first songs that Pauly Macc did, I was still a dancer back then, was called Deaf Girlies, and then the other one was Grace Under Pressure. Those tracks was actually done by Dr. Dre.
Wow.
Now, with him meeting Dr. Dre and all of those cats, he got introduced to Ice-T. And Ice-T took Pauly under his wings and gave him the game and really schooled him nicely. And then Pauly came back to us and started giving us the game. Before we knew it, we was on a tour bus with Ice-T, Arabian Prince, Bobby Jimmy, and a bunch of other guys, man, traveling throughout Northern California doing a tour without a deal. We didn't even have a deal. You know what I mean? But that's how we got introduced to the Rhyme Syndicate, was through Pauly meeting Ice-T, and Pauly kept it 100 and brought us all in with him on that. And we all got to meet Ice, man. We met a bunch of good cats, Nat the Cat, Donald B, Everlast, King G, Evil E, Al Capone, you know, Shawnee Sean, Mark Live, you know what I mean? And that's how we got introduced to the Rhyme Syndicate.
Oh my God. So you guys, let me get this straight. And this is Las Vegas rappers here. We're talking about Las Vegas rappers in the 80s. He said mid-80s to the late 80s, okay? So let me get this straight. You guys got the whole vibe of the rap game early on. You know what I mean? You guys are the pioneers. Now, I see that, I hear that you got involved with Ice-T. Ice-T was the man back in the late 80s, you know, with Colors, or, you know, he had 6 in the Morning. Man, he had a lot of good hits. And this guy had this crew called the Rhyme Syndicate. So you're telling me that you were part of the Rhyme Syndicate?
I'm one of the original members of the Rhyme Syndicate.
Oh, shit.
Pauly Macc, DJ Mike, NYC. NYC. Yeah, we are original members of the Rhyme Syndicate. But then it was another thing that came out of the Rhyme Syndicate that we got attached to that is definitely internationally known. And we was put on with this by Ice-T's DJ Africa Islam. He inducted us as a Las Vegas crew into the International Zulu Nation, which is started by Africa Bambaataa.
Wow. The Las Vegas division. Wow, man.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. So that's what I want people to know, that Las Vegas rap has been in the game since the late 80s. No, fuck that. Early 80s to the late 80s, all through the 90s. That's what I want the public to know, that Las Vegas rappers been doing this thing since the late to the mid 80s, but we're so unappreciated because we'll get back to that, but I just want people to understand that we've been doing this since the 80s. Okay? So for the public that don't know that we're just fresh and we just came out, nah, fuck that. 80s Vegas rappers been doing this thing. And I want the credit to be heard with the Hooded Figures. Okay, aka FBI crew, aka No Doze Funkmob or whatnot. Pauly Macc, King Alski, DJ Mike. Shout out to DJ Mike. I love that dude. He talks to me. He's a good friend of mine on Facebook, anyways. And NYC. So y'all motherfuckers are the pioneers of this Vegas division. Yes, sir. Now, my other question is, doing this, going on tour, you met Eazy-E. There's a picture with Pauly Macc and Eazy-E. If people that don't know, get that shit going on your books and check it out. But anyways, there's a lot of other things that you guys went through. When did you guys start getting your deal, like that deal that you guys were waiting for? Tell me about that.
Well, when we first started getting our first deal, the first deal we got, like we did our little independent thing locally here, man. And we created a whole crew of members from Las Vegas. We kind of did our own Rhyme Syndicate thing, but it wasn't Rhyme Syndicate. It was called the 211 Posse, and we was like 250, 300 deep throughout the city.
Wow.
Anyway, the 211 Posse thing ended up getting us heard a little bit later on by Cedric Singleton, who is the president and CEO of Black Market Records.
Wow.
So he decided that he wanted to sit in with Pauly. I don't know all the details because I didn't sit in the room with him, but he wanted to meet with Pauly, and they met and whatnot. He shot a deal at Paul. We had a choice of Priority Records also as well up in Richmond, and between Priority and Black Market Records. And, you know, Pauly's the man. He was making all the moves. He was putting things in motion. So he went with Black Market, man. And that was the first deal we got was with Black Market Records, which has a catalog that's incredible for West Coast artists, man. You know, they have they had Brotha Lynch, X-Rated, Triple Sicx, you know, a lot of major guys from out of the Sacramento area.
Yes, sir.
That are now internationally and nationally known artists. So just to be placed on a label with guys of that caliber for me was like amazing. You know, that Paul was able to put that together. I still pay homage to him today for that.
Oh my God, man. That is so much knowledge you're giving us right now, man. And I knew about you early on, you know what I mean? I studied. I witnessed the music that I listened to. The first album, which was No Doze Funkmob. You guys went by No Doze Funkmob, but the album technically was Tribal Sicx. But anyways, just to not make it so complicated because you guys have so much names. But anyways, that first album that came out in '96. To me, that's a personal compilation album because it's not even an album because you guys been doing those songs since the '80s. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I see those credits. That those credits are so beyond from the early '80s all the way to the mid '90s, and seeing that who actually put that out, was it Game? No, not a Game-related records, right, in Kansas City?
Yeah, no, actually the Hooded Figures album came out on Game-related. Now I was getting to that too. Before we signed the full deal to be just artist dedicated to Black Market Records, we met Rodney Money Green, which was one of Pauly's connections again, who is out of Kansas City, and his label is Game-Related Records. And they have a huge catalog. They had Tech N9ne back in the day, Cardi, Micah, you know what I mean? They had a lot of major artists, Rich the Factor, people like that. So anyway, he said, Rodney brought us out of the Black Market deal. Mm-hmm. So the album that was supposed to come out on Black Market Records, we got bought out of that deal and re-signed with Game-Related Records.
Wow.
Who will, in return, put the album out with regional distribution throughout the entire West Coast and throughout the Midwest.
That is beautiful. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't got released with Black Market Records, but you guys were still heard in the mid-'90s, and that's important because you guys had a lot of things to say on record, on wax or whatnot, because there's a lot of good songs that I can name you and name drop or whatnot. Where I'm From is one of the ones that stands out to me, the very first track on that album, because not to put you on a pedestal or put you or comparison. You guys had like a Wu-Tang, but a West Coast vibe at that time. But mind you, Wu-Tang kind of came out later before y'all. See, I want people to know that you guys actually came before. Wu-Tang just came out in like 93, 92, whatnot. Yeah, of course, the first album, 36 Chambers of Shaolin or 36 Chambers of Wu-Tang or whatnot. That came out in '93, right? But you guys been out before that. But you guys had that sound. You guys had that boom bap beats, but you guys still had that West Coast flavor. Am I correct?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the reasoning behind us having the boom bap beat and like that East Coast kind of vibe, but actually being from the West, is a lot of our tracks. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of the cats that are connected to Rhyme Syndicate are East Coast cats. You know, they're not all from LA, you know what I mean? So we was getting tracks made by Donald D and Africa Islam, and then a lot of tracks was made by a lot of eccentric beat makers here in our city as well too. The Underground Casino, my boy XL, you know, he was one of the Afrocentric type. How could I say? Who could I compare? Not even compare him to, but I want to say like a Diggable Planets type of guy, you know.
Diggable Planet, yeah.
Yeah, we had the East Coast vibe with the track, and we just put the West Coast twist as far as the lyrical content is concerned. At that particular time, you know, everybody was doing gangster rap, so you know, instead of saying as far as language is concerned in lyrics, instead of saying my jammy or something like they would say on the East Coast or whatever, you know, we would say get.
Wow.
So we had the East Coast vibe.
Yeah, and not to, I'm not trying to say that you guys supposed to sound West Coast or nothing. No, you guys were very original because this is the 80s. We're talking about 80s to the early 90s to the mid 90s. You guys had no choice. That was the sound back then. There was no such thing as a G-Funk before 93. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 91 because of Above the Law, okay? People think it's Warren G started this G-Funk thing, but they made it clear. They made it clear recently, so don't bash me on the comments, okay? But the first motherfuckers that came out with this G-Funk flavor was Above the Law from Ruthless Records, okay? We're talking about Cold 187, KMG, the dude, you know, rest in peace, you know what I mean? And I forgot the other dude's name, but anyways, all right, you guys know where I'm coming from with this, because I'm a big Above the Law fan. You know, I can't think of the third member because I'm just, you know, kind of rushing this shit. But anyways, these dudes started this G-Funk flavor. So don't blame the hooded figures that why they sound like East Coast. No, they've been on that West Coast tip before that, but they just happen to have that boom bap flavor. So let me tell you. Go ahead.
Let me give you some insight on something about Above the Law.
Word.
RBX, right?
Dog Pound, right?
That's the third artist of Above the Law, right? RBX?
No, RBX is the dude from the Dog Pound. Well, he was associated with the Dog Pound, but he was not like the primates. He was not the actual member of the group, but he was the Death Row. He was one of the early Death Row days, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was from Above the Law, so that's my bad of getting things mixed up.
No worries, man. We doing this raw and uncut. Fuck it.
Yeah, him and RBX and Pauly Macc actually had a couple of battles, man. Like these kids are trying to have the day on YouTube where they got the best rappers battling the best rappers. Yeah, Pauly and RBX used to go at it. They went at it like 3 or 4 times, man.
Wow, and RBX is a lyrical mastermind, you know. Right behind him was that female Lady of Rage. That girl can spit, man. That one of the first West Coast artists that can actually was a spitter, man. She was spitting that gangster shit, and she's part of the Death Row camp. But Above the Law was Ruthless camp. But if you're talking about RBX was actually on the Death Row camp. back in the early 90s. But no, it's an honest mistake. It's not even a big deal. But damn, dude, I cannot believe Pauly Macc and RBX battled. The fuck?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, when it came to battling, man, me and Paul, we ain't turned down nobody. We took them all comers. You know, all comers. I don't care where they was from. They could have been from Chicago, New York, LA, Texas. Yeah, we was taking them all on.
Beautiful, man.
We had real competition. We had real competition back then, bro. It wasn't no easy thing.
As far as like the whole battle thing, you know, which is a beautiful thing because that's part of the hip hop culture. Did you guys ever like thought of going mainstream? Like, was that your biggest focus to go mainstream, or were you guys just trying to stay local? Because I know you guys were involved with the Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T, Everlast, or whatnot. Or DJ Aladdin, I should definitely add him. But were you guys ever in trying to make yourself mainstream, or you guys were just gonna stay street?
No, man. Pauly was the visionary. You know, he got the game from Ice-T. Ice-T gave him all the tools of knowledge that he needed in actuality for us to go mainstream.
Right.
And, you know, it's kind of rough when you're in the position that a guy like Pauly Macc is in, and you have all these people that are around you that you are trying to actually kind of look out for, but also business has to be handled at the same time. So Pauly had the vision of mainstream, and the rest of us, not all of us, but most of us that was around him, you know, were kind of small thinkers, and we was just kind of like, we just rapping and we know that we good at it, and we go just get out here and just release music, but we didn't know the business aspect of it or how big we was actually getting. You know what I mean? When it really came down to it, we was just like, okay, wherever Pauly said we needed to be, we was there. And we was going out of town, we was going out of town, we was getting there to the venue, do what we had to do, not even really realizing how big the situation was. So, yeah, it was actually to go mainstream is what the goal was, but everybody didn't have the same vision. Right. You know what I mean? So we kind of got stuck in a stupor.
Damn. Okay, now I'm going to go back to our conversation yesterday. What was the issue with Everlast of the Rhyme Syndicate? Now, okay, before you answer that question, Everlast is a rapper / country musician nowadays, but at first, he's one of the earliest, way before Kid Rock, way before Vanilla Ice, okay? We had a rapper by the name of Everlast. And Everlast was one of the members of the House of Pain. And he did that one song, the Jump, 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 Everybody Jump, Jump. So people know that. He was all involved with DJ Muggs with Cypress Hill and whatnot. Okay, long story short, whatever. Before that, he was part of the Rhyme Syndicate. So my question is to you is, what the hell you were just jabbing. You was just jabbing and talking about that shit. I was tripping the fuck out when you were telling me. I told you to stop because I wanted to put this. I was like, okay, I need to hear this, but I need to hear this on the interview. So now, tell me what's the story about that dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the story, man, and it's a true story. And you know, I was hot headed, man. When I was young, you know, out there in the public eye with no understanding. So I want to say that first, because the story that I'm about to tell you, a lot of people probably won't believe, but I'm going to tell you it's true, and that Pauly Macc and a couple other people could actually confirm it. But what happened is, between me and Everlast, we went to L.A. to the Palladium to do Yo MTV Raps with Ice-T. Me, Pauly, and some of the other cats that was FBI and 211 posse at that particular time. Anyway, long story short, Everlast pulls up to the front of the Palladium. Mind you, it's probably about 90 degrees that day, or 89, or whatever it was in LA. But it was hot for me. And he had this big old New York bomber jacket that was hitting him at his knees, a beanie hat on his head, you know, just East Coast out, goggles on his neck and shit. And I look at him, and I was like kind of just kidding and joking, and he was like, hey, man. I tell him, I say, hey, man, don't you think it's a little bit too hot for that big-ass trench you got on? And he looked at me and said, you need to take your ass back to the desert. Yeah.
Wow. And when he's saying the desert, he means us, Las Vegas. Wow.
Yeah. So I snapped, and Pauly and Ice-T and a couple of other cats, because we was doing this show with Fab Five Freddy, the MTV Raps. They was all like, yo, let it go, man. Just let it go. Just let it go. So we sitting in the Palladium, getting our direction as far as what we were supposed to do when the camera come on, and Everlast is sitting there, and the only thing I could think about is this motherfucker told me to go back to the desert. Now, I'm a real-ass nigga. I'm a real cat from the streets. I'm not just one of these motherfuckers that's just, I know how to rap. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I got right up on him, and I was like, did you just tell me to go back to the motherfucking desert? And he was like, yeah. I said, yeah, you know what the hell I said? And I snatched the chair from under that motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's real shit. And, you know, they calmed it all down, and we was able to make it through the actual filming, and we kind of, you know, sold things up afterwards, and I haven't talked to Everlast anymore since. I probably never will.
Okay, so this is funny to me because your beef don't end up there. And we're not going to get to that other beef because the beef that you're going to about to tell me later is going to stun a lot of people because, okay, no, fuck that. I'm not even going to mention it because that shit's too important to me. Now, okay, around that time, you know, with the whole, you know, it's not even, it's very minor because it's so minor, it's so youngin'. You know, when I say youngin', it's like so young-minded back in the day. You guys didn't know no better. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand that. So, I mean, for a lot of people that want to bash me on the comments, like, why you want to ask them these questions, they're like, come on, shut the fuck up. I'm just asking some real knowledge from hip-hop because this thing came out of my mouth. This came out of an artist that actually lived the fucking life, okay? So I'm just asking the questions and thoroughly to just you know, just to get you guys some knowledge, okay? But I know my knowledge my damn self, so shut the fuck up. But anyways, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Black Market Records. Now, you guys did a song with Brotha Lynch, which is to me, it's an actual a classic because you guys mentioned him a lot too, you know, afterwards, like in on like some compilations like Northtown versus West Side, okay? I might going too forward, but look, I want to mention Brotha Lynch because Brotha Lynch is my favorite rapper. Brotha Lynch Hung is one of the best rappers to ever bless the mic, in my opinion. People might disagree, but this motherfucker, just because he's a cannibalistic, you know, serial killer rapper, I love it. You know what I mean? So, okay, so you guys did a song with him called Straight to the Dome. Now, that's one of the best tracks that I ever heard because it's so goddamn hype. And it's very unusual for an artist like Brotha Lynch to get on the track because that actual song sounds East Coast. Right. Okay, because I'm actually trying to remind the people that you guys sounded like an East Coast artist, but you guys had that West Coast flavor. So you guys never fared away from that. I understand that. But Lynch tear that shit up. like a fucking boost, like a motherfucking goat.
I'm gonna tell you why he tore it up. Okay, we was at I want to say it was Sin City Studios. I forgot who the actual engineer was at the time. I forget his name. But anyway, long story short, I'm in the booth when Lynch shows up, and I'm shooting my verse, and I kill it. I come out, and, get introduced to Lynch. You know, we have a couple of drinks and do our thing, and we sitting there chilling, and Lynch was like, give me a piece of paper and a pen. So they give him the paper and the pen. He was like, yeah, the track is funky. I like it. I'm getting on. He takes the pen. He writes his verse. He goes in, and he does what Brotha Lynch Hung does. You know, come. I be the one of the month up. I said, remember the nigga that kills them quick. For them minute that he killed it, right?
Yeah.
When he come out, me and him, we step out to take a smoke, and he says, I want you to know something, Alski. I'm like, what? He said, I would never have written that particular verse the way that I wrote it if I hadn't heard your verse first. He said, you inspired me to write what I just wrote to put on that track for y'all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the way he raps that shit, when the beat drops to his type of knowledge, like I was like, whoa. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, the way he raps that shit, it's like, fuck, like you ripped it, teared it up. Pauly Macc teared it up, but Lynch, like, whoa, he went to a whole nother level with that, because I was not, because, okay, when I met him too, by the way, but when I first heard Lynch, I was so used to him with the dark beats, the dark West Coast beats, and the whole West Coast vibe with him. But, you know, with the speaking of the segments and whatnot. But then when I got around you guys, I got the compilation of Appearances Part 1 first, before I got to, this is in 2001 or 2, if I'm not, this is my personal time. But when I heard the appearances from Brotha Lynch Hung under Black Market Records, I heard you guys. I don't know if it's part 1 or 2 or 3. So one of those 3 compilations. All right, so don't bash me if I don't know it no better, but I know that I heard it in one of those compilations of Lynch. And when I heard that, that's when I first heard of you guys and how I found out about you guys being in Vegas. And when I heard him on a East Coast beat, because it sounded like an East Coast beat, I was like, whoa, this motherfucker can do anything with beats and shit. So I knew he was a great lyricist. So that was dope, man. That's a good story to tell, man. That's dope. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. You know, it's like right now you're getting like the raw and uncut behind the scenes things that people don't know.
Right. Now, talking about that's just crazy.
Go ahead.
Talking about that now, you know, you guys were signed with Black Market, you guys getting paid, you know, you guys were doing your thing, you know. And Lynch. We're going to get with Lynch, you know, we're going back to Lynch.
Okay.
Lynch was involved with a crew, you know, he was with his peoples. He was a one-man gang, because he always made himself be that person, because he was antisocial. That was his image, that was his aura. Like, he don't talk to nobody, he was self, you know, inflicted, like he had a rough childhood, and he had cannibalistic thoughts, serial killer aspect, you know, he was talking about, you know, baby guts, you know, baby nuts and guts, you know, all that type of shit.
Yeah, right.
Now, he had a right-hand man at the time, but you had a beef with that certain somebody. Can you give me a whole rundown what the hell happened with that person and the whole release party of that certain artist in Las Vegas? Tell me about that whole situation.
Oh man, here's the situation. We had his right-hand man at the time was Triple Sicx. And Triple Sicx, he's a sick rapper, man. He's really good. He was really good. So, long story short, to cut to the chase, Lynch was talking with me on a friend level that kind of turned into a business level. Lynch was real cool with me. So Lynch told me to come down to Sacramento and that we would have a sit down with Cedric Singleton, and that, you know, we might actually be able to find me a little solo deal to the side while I was also still signed with Hooded Figures. Wow. Well, when I get down there, I show up at the studio, and mind you, and I'm not trying to like promote any gang violence or anything like that. I'm 50 years old. But mind you, when I get out the car, I'm from Las Vegas. I grew up in the Jets, original Baby PB, which is Baby Playboy Blood Gang. And so I get out the car, I leave my pistol under the seat. I got my wife in the car. Chicks is out front, and it's a gang of dudes out there. But I'm not thinking shit because Lynch told me to come through. It's all good, you know. He's the man down there. Well, Lynch is from 24th Street Crips, and Sicx is from 29th Street Crips. So when I get out the car and I'm approaching, before I know it, somebody hit me, and I was flipped upside down. All I seen was sky and feet in my feet. And I'm getting hit from every angle, this and that. I'm scrambling. I scramble back to my car to try to get up under the seat to get the pistol. I was able to actually get in the car, peel out, and get somewhere. I stayed in Sacramento for a little bit longer. I was living in Yolo County in West Sac. So it was in my best interest just to come back to Vegas because, you know, I didn't know nobody in Sacramento. I hadn't set up any major business deals down there, so I didn't know all the guys, you know, that Pauly Macc knew that would possibly be willing to get my back and actually try to make shit cease or whatever, you know. Lynch was in disbelief. So I just left and came back to Vegas. Now we move a little bit further. When I get back to Vegas, Pauly invites me to a listening party. Pauly Macc, my ace bone cool, and it was at the Alexis Park. So we go to the Alexis Park. Alexis Park is in Las Vegas. Does it still exist? Yeah, it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Right over there off of Paradise and what is that? Harmon? Okay. So it still stands to this day. A record release party for who? I thought that it was for Lynch. Okay. That's what I thought. But when I'm sitting there, as I'm talking to people, I find out that it was for Sicx. What album was that? I don't remember which one. What year was this? This was in probably 98, something like that. 98 or probably earlier than that, right? Maybe. Because you guys were still signing with Black Market, right? You're actually right. Yeah. So it was probably 90, 93, 92. I'm not sure. Oh, so we're talking about this album called Dead for Life from Sicx. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. Well, that is deep. So you know, and you know, Pauly was doing Pauly. You know what I mean? Pauly Macc was doing Pauly Macc. Pauly Macc is a marketing genius, and he was promoting this guy and, you know, marketing him and out here in the Vegas area for Black Market Records. He was doing extra for them, which was perfectly fine. But I was ignorant at the time. I was a young, dumb kid, you know, and all I could think about is these dudes put their motherfucking hands on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when Sicx walked in, I told Paul, y'all got like 15 minutes to air this motherfucker out. These niggas gotta go. They in my city, and they're gonna respect me for being in my city because they did me dirty in their city. Fuck them. That's how I felt at the time.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, I'm not gonna incriminate myself, but I went to the car, and when I came back to the car, everybody got aired out. Plain and simple.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
This had to be like 94, 95 at the time. This is crazy, though, because I had no idea that you, as King Alski from the Hood of Figures, had not beef, but you had a misunderstanding with, you know, with the guy by the name of Triple Sicx Bounty. And the reason why I know his whole name is because I'm a big fan of this guy. He just goes by the name of Six, S-I-C-X. And, you know, I don't want to go deep to his legacy because, you know, it's a bad end up to his legacy. But I'm going to go where he was actually in his prime. He was one of the best lyricists himself. He was the man. He was the man in Sacramento. He was Brotha Lynch Hung's right-hand man. He's not one of the. He's the first right-hand man since the late 80s, 86 or whatnot, with the endangered species. They used to call themselves something else, but I'll get back to that one. But he got involved. They got involved with X-rated, you know, with the N.W.A. I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna say the actual word with the tape, and it ended up becoming Psychoactive, which is a classic Sacramento record from X-rated. They did their thing. Like real talk.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you had an issue with this guy named Six?
Yeah, and then that wasn't the only issue. That was like that was just a release party. We got past that because of being partial label mates. We got past that, and we were gonna do a video shoot for I think Murder Dog magazine or one of the magazines on the West Coast at the time.
Right.
Anyway, they decided that they were going to shoot this video, this photo shoot right behind the Golden West or Nucleus Plaza, which is right in my neighborhood, right by the Jets. Which was cool for me, you know. It was great. You know, we went over there late at night. It was maybe 2:30, 1:30 in the morning.
Plaza Hotel?
No, on the west side off of H&O.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, Nucleus Plaza, you know, the only shopping center that we ever had on the west side for years since the 70s. But anyway,
wow. Okay.
So we're doing this photo shoot, and again, Six has a blue rag on his head. And I tell him, you're going to respect my neighborhood, like straight up. Take the rag off. I don't want nobody be taking no pictures. Not tonight. If you don't take the rag off, I'm going to start whistling, and niggas is going to start jumping over this brick wall right here. And I'm going to let my homeboys do what they do. Like, I'm giving you a pass. You didn't give me one. You didn't even really introduce yourself to me. Y'all just start firing on me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, he was still refusing to take the rag off. Pauly finally convinced him to just take it off, and we took the pictures. You know, and I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't even think the pictures ever even made the magazine. But yeah, we took these pictures and it was cool, you know. And again, just like Everlast, I never seen Six again. So,
wow, what a story, bro.
That's just letting you know. A lot of people think that Vegas people are soft and slow and whatever. Nah, we with this shit just like anyone else. It ain't where you from, where your ass at.
And you're going to hear this first, coming out of my mouth. You're the early 50 Cent of the rap game in the West Coast back in the early 90s. Because that, you already know 50 Cent's shit, his reputation and shit, he starts beefing with anybody. You were trolling motherfuckers back in the days. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were trolling other rappers and shit. You were trying to start, not trying to say start beef, not saying start beef, but you were getting on that beef level with rappers that were actually established their damn selves because you were trying to do your own mark, which is crazy.
Because it was a respect thing. And all in all, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? If you bring your ass to Vegas and you're not gonna respect the land, hey, when I went to Sacramento, I respected their land. I just came down there to rap. I didn't come down there on no gangbang shit or none of that.
Exactly. You know, and from seeing your pictures, okay, because we're going to get back on these pictures questions. From all the pictures that you have taken, not one time you showed your colors, which is crazy. I mean, you probably showed pictures of yourself personally, but as far as with the hooded figures, you never showed not one time your actual colors, what you represent.
No, because hooded figures was separate from that shit.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? You know,
it was a hip hop thing.
It's a hip hop thing, and the respect level for the guys that I was actually affiliated with, Donald D. Like I said, Him G, Ice-T, you know, the boss of the Rhyme Syndicate. You know what I mean? These are actual real businessmen.
Exactly.
So no, I wasn't going. And then Pauly, the respect for Pauly, you know, I wasn't going to advertise that.
Yeah, you should.
To punish our crew that we had. You know what I'm saying? But everybody in the city of Vegas, and even outside of the city of Vegas, you know, like I say, the behind the scenes shits, I didn't back down from none. I let them know exactly where I was from and what I was about and why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here because I am one of the main members of the Rhyme Syndicate. They putting me on. I'm going to be here, and I ain't going nowhere. And I don't care how many of y'all it is in here. You know what I mean?
As you should. Man, that's beautiful, man, how you put that out. Now, as the years went by, you know, you had your little beef with Everlast, your little situation in Triple Sicx, which is crazy. Because people that know me personally know that my association with Triple Sicx Bounty is a big thing to me. And you telling me this story yesterday, because yesterday you were telling me, I don't know this rapper name by the name of Triple Sicx. You were just blurbing your words out, and I was like, wait, what? Did I just heard that? Oh yeah, I was like, wait, did I just heard that name? Did I just heard that name? Did you just said that? Yeah, it was a rapper that was associated with Lynch. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I was just getting tripped out. You know what I mean? So that was a beautiful little moment that I had with you, man. It was a good conversation. We handled it as gentlemen. You know, that's the past. There's no beef. There's nothing. You know what I mean? We keep it hip hop.
That's all good, man.
It's all love. It's all love. You know, we all went past that. Well, not me, but you guys went past that. You know what I mean? So, if anybody that's just trying to think that I'm trolling people and shit and want to start drama, it ain't that, motherfucker. So shut the fuck up. Okay?
No, ain't no drama. Just know that. I just want the international audience that's listening in that if you see me anywhere in my city of Vegas or I'm in your city or wherever I'm at, just know that I'm a very respectful man.
Exactly.
And you have to earn respect to get it. I'm going to treat you as though I would treat one of my own kids if I run across you.
Word.
As long as your respect level for me as being a man is on the correct level. Exactly. I'm going to respect the man for being a man. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. So, fast forward a little bit. Well, still back in those days, but fast forward to another subject. Pauly Macc ended up doing some other Avengers, like he did some other projects. He did an album which was random as hell at that time, but today he does that on occasion. Like no, not occasion. He does that constantly. He gets involved with the rock genre of music. He actually released, and I'm not trying to put Pauly Macc down, but like that, you know what I mean? But he kind of because that was his mentor. He followed Ice-T's footsteps with Body Count, and Pauly Macc himself did a album of himself called 187. And 187, the dark, or it was just called Dark Side, was distributed with Black Market Records in 1994, 1995. Which is a dope ass fucking rock album, because I listen to rock my damn self, okay? But this was grimy as fuck. Grimy, because he was rapping his ass off with some rock melodies, you know, which was dope, was unheard of. I know Ice-T did it before, but we had our own Ice-T in Vegas. You know what I mean? If you want to understand what I'm trying to say here, we had our own Ice-T in our Vegas circuit. We had our own Ice-T rapper by the name of Pauly goddamn Macc. You know what I mean? So he released that album. How come at that time? How come you were not involved, or were you guys disbanded, or what happened in that time, or why he went that route?
He went that route because that was something that he wanted to do. I got on one song on that entire album.
Are you serious? You're on that album? I did not know that.
I did something that nobody had ever done in hip hop on that album.
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Last Days.
Last Days?
I did Last Days.
Okay, because I don't see it. I don't see that.
It's not on the 187 album.
I don't see it as I'm looking at it, because I'm studying myself right now.
It's on the Columbine album. That's what it is.
Okay, because
it's on the second album he did.
Yeah, because I'm still in the 90s here, you know. In the 90s, he actually released an album as a rock group. He was a front man, and the whole crew was with him as a rock band. It was all long-haired white boys that got down.
I was around, but I wasn't involved in the rock. I wasn't involved in the rock with 187 that we put out. You know what I mean? I helped him write some of the lyrics.
Right.
But I didn't spit, because that was his thing, you know. And then back then, as I said, I was so ignorant, I had no vision. I was like, oh, you want to do rock? You know, like a dumbass. You want to do rock? Go ahead and do rock then. Do what you going to do. Do rock. You know, just an idiot, you know, like I had no vision. So, you know, he did his thing, and it came out, as you said, phenomenal, which was great. But some of the lyrics I wrote, along with him, I helped him out. Some of them he wrote himself. Some of them he got other people to write. You know what I mean? And it's
not to cut you off.
I'm not being a good writer. I'm not blasting him about not being I'm not saying he don't know how to write or anything like that, because he does know how to write. But I helped him out a lot. I helped him out.
And not to cut you off, because there's another person that stands out nowadays. His name is Eric Hoover. Who's that guy?
Yeah. Oh, who? That's my man.
Was he involved with the 187, or he just started getting involved with the Columbine later?
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not actually sure exactly how that thing worked, but I'm gonna tell you. I think Hoove got involved with the Columbine thing. I don't know the whole ordeal. Hoove is a really good dude. He's the guy with the staff and shit that pounds on the stage while you're rapping.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
Hoove came later with the Columbine, because I'm actually on the song. And I remember actually performing that song with Hoove on stage, beating that damn stick in my ear as he was pounding on the stage. Yeah, he came along.
But not to cut you off. He was not involved with the 187, right?
Not that I know of, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what Paul actually really truly had going on. You know what I'm saying? I was left in the dark on a lot of things, man. A lot of things used to just kind of happen overnight.
Okay.
Without my knowledge of knowing that it was going to actually happen. Pauly was just working and not even really, letting everybody know exactly what he was doing. He was just like popping up with things like a magician.
Okay, yeah. Go back to your situation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go back to what now?
Go back what you were saying.
Who?
Yeah, who? Yeah.
Oh yeah, who? Yeah, who? That's a good dude, man. That's a real good dude. I was gonna say this. I'm pretty sure that who came around during the Pauly Macc's Columbine years because the whole band 187, even Columbine has been flipped 3 or 4 different times as far as the band members. You know what I mean? Pauly has had to really put some guys together that he could keep together, because when he gets that group together and they actually start to do things, I don't know what takes place, but they fall apart.
Okay, wow.
Slowly, people just start peeling off. You know what I mean? And as they peel off, just like any good businessman would do, Donald Trump, punk ass, Pauly
exactly. Punk ass motherfucker. Word life.
Shit, I hired you, I fire you. You know, that it is what it is.
Now, hey, I mean, there's a lot of things I can tell you because we had a lot of conversations, but I'm going to give you one number or 1 year. And we were talking about that yesterday. We were talking about that yesterday as we were, we were getting hyped up. We were getting geeked up with that. What happened in 1998 and the situation with involving with E40? Because you were involved with a lot of major dudes, man. This is crazy. The things that you were telling me just took me off guard. And the reason why I mention these things is because I got to remind myself what you were telling me, and that I gravitate that right away. What the hell happened? Was you on your immature days? You said you were drunk on the time. I don't know if you said you were drunk or high, whatnot. I don't want to disrespect you, but I mean, I just wanted to know what happened that time, man. Give me that story right there.
Man, I was drunk and high as a motherfucker every day. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. We know who's born around this motherfucker.
Exactly.
But, I'm going to give it to you like this, bro. We had a tour. It was a one-night show, man. Me, Pauly Macc, the Hooded Figures, we had this deal for a show that was taking place in Kearney, Nebraska, which was great.
Nebraska, of all places. Damn.
Kearney, Nebraska, man. Like, yeah, when you popping, you got to go where you popping. So we was popping down there. So what took place is E40. We got E40 to jump on to do his thing, and he brought the whole crew, man. B-Shot, Sugar T, he brought everybody, the whole Oakland Clegg, And 40, we went to, it was an Ameristar riverboat. It wasn't even like a hotel. It was just an Ameristar riverboat. And I'm walking through this riverboat, and I'm from Vegas, you know what I mean? We got neon lights. These motherfuckers had Christmas lights strung all over the damn place to make the casino look like a casino. Wow. So that kind of shit. But anyway, long story short, what happened is we do this show, man, and the show was great. You know what I mean? I go on stage as I am. Back then it was all about keeping it real. You got to keep it real. So, I'm a blood from Vegas. I represent that shit till I die, because that's what it is. Not promoting gangbanging again. I'm going to say that to make sure. Anyway, long story short, I go on stage. I got on some motherfucking red and white platinum Nikes. I got on some red Dickies, and I have a black and red jersey on, red cap. But mind you, I'm with all Crips as I'm performing. You know, it's everybody Crips. Even the whole venue was Crips. I didn't care at the time, you know. So I go out, I kill the mic like I'm supposed to, do my thing, and afterwards, as we're leaving the venue, I got about, I don't know how many Crips behind me, following me to our SUVs. As I'm walking to the SUV, all I hear is cuz, and I turn around, and I'm like, what you motherfuckers want? You know what I mean? Like, I'm from Nebraska. I'm not down in Nebraska, you know what I'm saying? But you niggas is from Nebraska. Like, are you for real? Y'all finna fuck with me? Let's get it. Pauly Macc came up like the superhero, walked right up and was like, y'all ain't fucking with him. Y'all need to back up. Next thing you know, here come E40, here come D-Shot, here come about 25, 40 Oakland cats.
Wow. This is the whole not Oakland. I think I don't want to cut you off, but E40 from
Vallejo, yeah.
Vallejo, motherfucker. Hey, can I add to it? Was Little Bruce in the picture? Was Little Bruce?
Who?
Little Bruce. He was a rapper back in. He was like a black Asian dude back in the day. He used to beef with Black Drake back in the day.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you who else. Who else was on the bill?
That was my mistake. Who was on the bill? Who was on the bill?
Who else was on that bill was Mitchie Slick from San Diego.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mitchie Slick was on that bill.
And this is 1998, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Mickey Slick. Holy shit, man. You just mentioned a major artist, too.
Yeah, and just like everywhere I used to go back then, I was always getting into some shit. Not even intentionally, you know what I'm saying? I was just being who I am, being about where I come from and being about the way I was, you know, doing what I wanted to do.
I don't want to label you, but you were like the bully. You were like the bully of the West Coast. You were like I'm saying, I just mentioned to you earlier, you were like the 50 Cent of the West Coast. But nobody knows who you actually are. You know what I mean? Like, you bullied Everlast. You didn't necessarily bully Triple Sicx, but you got down with him, and then you bullied the people from 98. Like, you were getting down, you know what I mean? You were doing your thing. You know what I mean? But I don't want to have a negative light out of this. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So let's back to the positive.
Exactly. So let's go back to recent years. 2000 on. Okay. 2000 on. You know what I mean? You know, you went through your stuff. You know, you met Eazy-E, N.W.A. You got down with the Rhyme Syndicate, with the Ice-T movement. You know what I mean? You did your whole thing with the whole black market deal. You know, you got a little issue with Triple Sicx Bounty. You know, this whole 98 issue that you went through. Now you're going to the 2000 era. Now, what's going on in that time, like the early 2000s?
Early 2000s, man. I was ready now, I think, mentally to go ahead and like actually move forward and see the vision that Pauly Macc had for us to actually go worldwide and be international and just like really come out and just like blow up the whole Vegas scene the way it was supposed to have been done, and I was ready to put people on and like start trying to get involved in the business aspects of the game. We got picked up off of game related records,
right?
or we were going to get picked up off of game-related records.
And mind you, hold on. And not to cut you off, I'm sorry. You guys, at one time, you guys were above Tech N9ne, okay? Let's get this shit straight. Tech N9ne is Tech N9ne now. Tech N9ne, everybody know who the fuck that motherfucker is. But at one time, you guys were the bigger artist than Tech N9ne, which is crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Matter of fact, that show in '98, Tech N9ne cousin Bill Bacardi was on that bill too.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? That was during the time when we first actually started getting down with game-related records out of Kansas City.
Wow.
And much respect to game-related records. Much respect to Rodney Money Green for for shooting us out the way he did, as far as putting our music in the stores and doing the things that he did.
As they should, yeah.
So, I wasn't all the way there. I wasn't all the way ready to really, truly understand the business aspect of it. But I started asking questions like a little curious kid, you know?
Right.
What's that? How does that work? How does this work? Now it's time to talk.
Okay.
And man, we got this P&D deal that was given to us through Universal and DJ Quick and Bungalow Records, which was run by Paul Ring.
DJ Quick? Wow.
Yeah. So when we get that deal, we go down to Universal City, man, and we sit in there, and we're sitting with Paul Ring, and he's actually listening to our demo. It's me, Pauly Macc, it's Rodney Money Green, a couple of different cats from Kansas City as well too. And as he's listening to the demo, he's sitting back in his chair and he's rocking, a little bit. Whenever my verses came on, he sat up. And he was like, who's this guy right here? And they was like, oh, that's just Alski. Pretty much is how they said it. That's just Alski. But we're the people you need to be focusing on, they was telling them. So talk to us. So at that point, my light bulb turned on, and I said, hold on, wait a minute, man. This man want to know who I am. I'm going to talk to him. I was like, what you need to know, man? Like, what's happening? It was like, Alski, we got it. They ran me out the room.
What?
So long story short, later on that evening, we're sitting at the time that Robert Blake, I guess, supposedly killed his wife. It's probably like the same morning.
Robert Blake. Who's this Robert Blake?
Robert Blake. That's Beretta, man. That's the actor.
Wow.
From the 70s, who said Beretta. That was, that guy.
So you were around that same time?
Yeah. We was in LA that same day. We was watching it on the news, and then we go up to the rooftop of the whatever little motel or hotel that we were staying in, and we sitting on top of this rooftop, and it's me, Rodney Money Green, his brother, Pauly Macc, a couple other cats, and they're talking about Tech N9ne this, Tech N9ne that, Tech N9ne this, Tech N9ne that. And I was arrogant as hell, so I was like, fuck Tech N9ne.
Oh, man.
You sitting here talking to me about Tech N9ne, and you probably got one of the best lyricists you will ever have, because I didn't know how good Tech N9ne was back then. I was like, you probably got one of the best lyricists you will ever have, sitting right in your face, and you talking to me about another person. I don't want to hear about this person. I want to hear what it is that you going to do for me and Pauly. We just came out of Universal City. I want to know what's happening. So I was like stepping on toes left and right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so Pauly was like, man, you need to calm down. Just let me handle the business. Don't talk. Just sit down, basically, and shut the fuck up.
Wow.
I was like,
wow.
Yeah, I was like a street kid with no knowledge, man, just like not even caring, like, And then later on down the line in life, as I started to hear Tech N9ne blow up, I'm like, oh, now I kind of see why they was like, sit your ass down and shut up.
No, we're not gonna put you against him because, no, you can't compare you guys two because Tech N9ne.
Hold on, one second.
Tech N9ne is like a whole other level of rhyme. You know what I'm saying? He is a lyrical giant. He's a lyrical phenomenon. This guy does his thing. But you were doing your own thing on your own path. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I can't compare. You guys are completely separated from that genre. You know what I mean? You guys are not even near that genre. I'm just talking about what your level is and what his level is.
Exactly. But that's how cocky I was back then. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, of course. As you should. All MCs need to be cocky than a motherfucker, as they should. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the rappers need to say, "I'm tight, I'm rhyme, I get ill, I do what I do. I rap, I get down. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Whoever the fuck is down, I get do what I do. You know what I mean? That's the thing."
So we was talking about they were talking about a lot of money. So as I move a little bit forward after all of me having a little beef on a rooftop and shit, when it came down to it, they actually shot us a nice deal, man. I ain't gonna say the number, but Universal shot a nice deal to us, which was gonna be great for me. I'm like, I'm set now. I don't gotta do nothing else in life but rap until I die. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be this is it. Like, that's it. We did it. We accomplished it.
Universal. Universal.
Yeah, when we got they shot me my contract. Pauly had already signed his.
Wow.
Everything was moving forward. The record company, Game Related, had already was prepared to release us as far as to Universal, but still was going to be a subsidiary label up under Universal and Bogolo, and it was going to be, a nice thing. But back then, knowing what I know now, Universal was shooting shit deals to everybody that they could run across that had some talent. I lawyered up, and when I lawyered up, after my light bulbs turned on, I got me a lawyer, and I come to find out, the deal wasn't worth shit for me, but it was worth some money for other people that was involved, without dropping names. And so the people that was involved, I had to do some things to twist some things up so that I can get out with nothing but at least my damn dignity if I didn't get out of the situation with nothing at all. Because I wasn't finna take the pennies that they was offering me. So I said, fuck it, you can keep your pennies. Just, give me sole proprietary ownership rights of everything it is that I've done for the company. And y'all can get the hell on. But with me not signing, I was receiving death threats from all around the country and this and that because I was supposed to be the one guy to come out of Vegas and really put Vegas on the map 25, 30 years ago. But I wasn't going to be pressured by, the bullshit that was in the game. I wasn't going to let it happen. So my thing was, I'll go back to the projects and continue to eat top ramen and fucking hot links before I let you motherfuckers set me up to be a blood sacrifice or whatever the hell is going to take place. It ain't going to happen to me. That's how it went. So I didn't sign the deal. So with me not signing the deal, that crushed a lot of things and put a lot of things on hold for a lot of people out here that was involved with it. Is that what you was looking for?
Fuck it. Okay, so we're at that part where you were talking about the whole deal with Universal, but it didn't happen. So as you were talking, you were just still ranting about that. You were kind of upset about the situation where you were going through at the time. Elaborate that part where you were talking about the whole Universal thing. Not the whole thing, but the deal part.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the thing with Universal, man, it was a deal that was going to actually blow us up. Bigger than, we ever could have dreamed of. But as I got into coming out of my shell and trying to get involved with the business aspects of things that was happening, it was too late for me, you know what I mean? Because I didn't know the business. because I was just rapping, and when I started asking questions, it was like almost pretty much too little, too late.
Right.
For a person that don't understand what's really going on, you know? Because I'm like, I was on the outside looking in.
Wow.
I was a little upset. I was a little upset when I started to see, you know, how things were going to play out all in all down at the end. Mm-hmm. So I loaded up, and I found out some things that weren't going to be lucrative for me on my end. Mm-hmm. So I didn't sign. I said, fuck that. I'm not signing nothing.
And you should.
And it caused a lot of problems with a lot of people out here in Vegas that was pretty much, I guess, depending on me and Pauly Macc to open up the floodgates.
So in other words, so let me get this straight. So in other words, you guys were having that same deal like Cash Money at the time, and the reason why I'm asking, I'm comparing you guys because you guys kind of came, no, not kind of, you guys kind of came before Cash Money millionaires and shit, like Big Timers, Juvenile, Lil Wayne, BG and shit. Mm-hmm. So you guys had the same deal as they had at that time.
Yeah.
And what year was this?
This was I want to say probably 97, 98.
Woo!
Maybe
exactly.
Maybe 2000. Maybe 2000.
Maybe 2000 or later. Okay. I don't want to tell you to be specific because that's your life, so that's your career. So, but that's pretty much kind of the same time that when they were coming up, you know, and they got major. You know what I mean? I mean, if they never got major, you would have never seen a Lil Wayne or a Birdman. You know, but I mean, they would have made something out of themselves. They would have never been major if they never got that Universal deal. Because you got to understand, because you got to understand, Master P was running the shit in the 90s, you know what I mean? The late 90s, you know what I mean? That dude was the independent circuit. That motherfucker didn't need no fucking major distribution deal. Yeah, he had Priority, but Priority was their own lane too. And when he did his own thing, he was making the most money out of that shit. And if you guys don't believe me, go look at that Drink Champs interview with Snoop Dogg, because Snoop Dogg was actually a artist signed to that label after the Death Row fact. So don't bash me on that damn ass on those fucking comments, because if you bash me, then motherfucker shut the fuck up. Anyways, it's back to this interview. So that's good that you were going through that. So you guys went through the situation and it backfired. What happened to the group?
Well, like the group, we never really decided that we were gonna disband with the figures. Like it just kind of disintegrated, you know, because with me not signing and moving forward, it put a lot of sour grapes in the situation.
Right.
And for a while, you know, me and Pauly Macc was at odds, but never nothing serious, you know, because we've been homeboys since we was in like junior high school, you know, and it was just basically me not understanding the business and still thinking on a small level of you, my motherfucking homeboy. We've been together in this shit since popsicle truck days and shit. You know what I mean?
Word.
And, you know, to see the way shit was going down, and I couldn't get any straight explanations or straight truths for why the shit was going the way that it was going, that I just decided, okay, I'm going to do what I got to do to walk away with my dignity.
Right.
You know what I mean? And without anyone getting hurt or any type of crazy shit going on. So I was able to pull that off in a correct political way. Yeah. To where, you know, it didn't get ugly.
Yeah, you kept your pride. You kept your pride. as you should. You know what I mean? But there was a but on that. You got it didn't backfire you to the point that you couldn't get discovered. You just actually disbanded your group itself. So like, how? Okay, my other question is, where and how? Because your group wasn't known while you guys were at it. It got noticed in social media. Because where I found you guys out, on MySpace. This is okay. MySpace, right. MySpace is a dead social media now. So when I first heard you guys were social media like frenzy.
That was all Pauly Macc.
Yeah, you know so like he was promoting the shit. He was like, "Who the hell is this Las Vegas?" Because I actually typed. I still to this day I still remember 2003, 2004. One of those two years. But I remember I was like, I actually typed down Las Vegas rap, and when I put Las Vegas rap, I was thinking Doomsday Productions or Clica One, because those two were the actual artists or groups that were actually like the talk of the town back in those days. Because they came out with some fire ass shit. You know what I mean? They came out with, Clica One came out with their self-titled and The Circle, and Doomsday had their the 15, Pray For Me, and Filthy album, and Survival of the Sickness throughout that time. So, like, they were already well established at that time, but I was always curious, because of the Northtown versus Westside, there was this one song called Westside Sickness. Westside Sickness is where I first heard you guys, too. Like, okay, first of all, I heard you guys on social media. And then I saw a promotion of buy it online type of shit. And I think it was on Doomsday's local website. They were actually promoting the shit. And in the credits, I remember I saw Hooded Figures. I'm like, who the fuck is Hooded Figures? Oh, no, not Hooded Figures. No Doze Funkmob. At the time, not Hooded Figures, okay? I did not know you guys had Hooded Figures at the time. So let me correct myself on that. It was No Doze Funkmob, and then there was a song called Westside Sickness. And in the first part of the song, it's like the first little few seconds, Pauly Macc says, I don't know if it's you or Paul, because you guys kind of have similar voices, but you have the more lyrical ability on it. I think it's you, though, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's you that speaks out first, right? You're the one that says, yeah, you're the one that starts first. You're like, shout out to my niggas Pac and Biggie, right?
Right.
Am I correct, or I might be wrong?
I don't know who said that or who did that, but I don't remember that, because like I was saying, as they started marketing that through the internet and whatnot, they've changed it so many times. They didn't put 2 or 3 different beats under that song. They've done a lot to it. You know what I mean?
Game Related released a remix to it with the Albie Shore beat, and I like that version, but it's kind of outdated in a way. Like it doesn't, like Pauly Macc and your voice don't sound right on that beat too not that much, not necessarily. And I understand that you guys were kind of marketing that song because of the success of Northtown vs. Westside. But I think the original compilation album is well put together already originally. So, but my question is, the person that's speaking in the beginning, I don't know, I'm thinking it's Pauly Macc, because Pauly Macc got like a list in a way. When he says, shout out to my nigga Pac and Biggie. This is for you, dog. This Westside lifestyle. You know how he starts and shit?
Yeah.
But I think it's you, isn't it?
No, I didn't say nothing about Pac and Biggie, so that had to be Pauly and them doing that. And they
you rapping on that. But you're rapping on that song, aren't you?
I started out. That was me with this West Side Life. It's kind of what the fuck with tourists out on the strip. That's me.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But you guys kind of sound because you guys sound very similar on that song. I was always curious about who was the one that started talking at first in the beginning. But if you said that you don't remember saying, or you don't recall that Biggie and Pac was mentioned in your wordplay on that song, I believe it was Pauly Macc. So my mistake, Pauly Macc, is just I was always confused on that beginning part. So my bad, bro, if I don't know my knowledge on that part, but it just was very confusing on me. Now, going back to the Columbine days, and you guys expanding because of the Universal deal and whatnot. All right, so fast forward now to like say 2015 to now. What's going on with you guys?
2015, man. I had some cats, and it might be earlier. I want to get this right. I'm not sure, but I had started trying to dabble in the business myself. So I started like promoting at the club Tech N9ne. I had a night over there that I was running, and I had met this group of kids from Watts. They were bounty hunter bloods, and they was real riders, and they was good. You know what I mean? Their music was awesome. So I wanted to promote them, and I'm still trying to go through Pauly Macc and because he's the plug, he's the man. So I'm trying to get Pauly to help me with my guys, and nothing came of it, but a lot of promises. But that's okay. So anyway, long story short, Hooded Figures, we landed I think a 17-city tour or something. So we were supposed to go on this tour. And I asked Pauly, I said, look, I got some guys that I want to bring along with me on this tour because, at that time, as I was saying before earlier, things was getting kind of ugly, and I was the bad guy, and, I wasn't going to just jump in the car uncomfortable with the situation that I was in, along with Hooded Figures and a bunch of the other guys that had started to get involved with that Pauly had around at the time. To me, they seemed to be a little shady. And I know for a fact that some of them were shady towards me. So I wanted to take my hitters with me, and I had my hitters with some young cats that was going to really get down if I had a problem on the road. Right. You know what I mean? And they came with me for us to get ready to go on this tour, and Pauly and the rest of the cats that was along with the crew was pretty much like there ain't no room for them in the car. Wow. So I said, well, if there's no room for them in the car, I'm not going. So I shut the whole tour down for myself. They still went out, but they came back quick. Right. You know what I mean? So life is about choices and decisions, man. And, I don't regret anything that I ever done in my lifetime when it comes to hip hop or anything else that I've ever done. I did everything that I did was basically to protect me and those that were around me. You know what I'm saying? So that if we're going to do anything, we're going to do it as a unit. If there's a division, then I'm just going to kind of walk away from it if it can't be resolved. So I just stepped off. Like, okay, y'all got to go on y'all tour alone. If I can't take my boys with me, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes right here would go to war for me. I didn't think that I had that kind of backing with the crew that I was running with at that particular time with the Hooded Figures camp. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now you guys are on good terms nowadays. 2019. Oh yeah, definitely on good terms, man. We have had a couple of conversations actually about trying to do a second Hooded Figures album that haven't came all the way to a head yet. My boy Paul is really busy still active doing things out here in Vegas in the community as well.
Exactly. He's the ambassador. He is the mayor. He is the guy that he is the year of the streets. So the guy, you know, he always puts everybody in Vegas on game right now, man. And shouts out to Pauly Macc, because Pauly Macc, that's my Uncle Pauly right there, man. I consider him like my uncle, you know what I mean? Because he gives us the knowledge of what's going on in Vegas society, and not just hip-hop music, but society itself, and the use of our talent-wise, black, Asian, you know what I mean, white, you know, the whole fucking races market. He gives us our game because this guy has been through it. You know, he's seen it. He's seen it from the Silky D's, Stacy G's, from Gangster Blacc Productions. A lot of these old school Vegas cats, you know what I'm saying? Doomsday Productions, they used to go by the name of Raiders of Doom. You know what I'm saying? All these Vegas, you know, I know my Vegas now like a motherfucker, so I'm just throwing out these names because you guys been throughout the whole time. You know, you guys seen it all. You guys been through it all. You know what I mean? The Bonafide, Clica 1, or La Clica, they used to call them back in the day. Shit, man, the list goes on. You know what I mean? Johnny Boy, fuck, man. Too much motherfuckers. The Murderous Clique, the Murderous Clique. Man, I forgot to mention that because this pisses me off, because these dudes, when we were talking about it, you were with his brother, right? You was older brother?
Oh yeah, man. I was with my boy E-Dog, man. That's Foolish P, older brother. We all grew up in the Jets. And you know, I was a little bit older than Foolish. I was doing my thing. Foolish was a little kid, and he would come up to me and try to pull my T-shirt, and he was like, "Put me in the studio. I'm telling you I'm good. Come on, man, put me in the studio." And I was so busy with Hooded Figures that I was like, "Just give me some time. I got you. Just give me some time. I got you." And I never really got an opportunity to really truly try to bless Foolish the way I wanted to. And he struck out on his own, man. Yeah, and the boy is awesome.
A beast. The guy, man, he is very important. He is very important. Okay, and my bad if I mentioned to mention him in the interview, because we were so geeked up on this interview. By the way, you know what I mean? We got real deep in it. But Foolish P is in the hood, not hood. I'm sorry. The Murderous Clique, MK. Them dudes had one of the most important songs of my soundtrack, which was called the Inter-Trigger Finger Buck. You better up when you buck on these murderers. Man, when I heard that song with the Kurt Cobain, the Nirvana beat, the sample, I was tripping the fuck out, bro. Like, these dudes did their thing. So I literally did not actually not mention them, because I am mentioning them fully, because these motherfuckers are very important to my life. And shouts out to Foolish P, because I had an opportunity to talk to him again after all these years. You know, he's a good dude. He's very humble, man. I hope for a good interview in the future. And thank you for the plug, you know, King Alski. Like, that was some real shit.
Oh yeah, man. I want to say R.I.P. to Maxville, man. You know what I mean? Like, they were a very important group of individuals that was a mixture of, you know, Foolish being from the West Side and the other cats being from North Town, and actually being able to click up and do what they did and did it well. So much love for the Murderous Clique.
Thank you, man.
Always.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the foundation of Las Vegas history. You know, you guys been here since the 80s, through the 90s, all the way through the early 2000s to now. You guys are still going at it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do this segment called The 5 Deadly Venoms. And I'm just going to give you one word, and you answer it by your utmost ability, all right? And we'll wrap it up with that. I always do this. I did this last time on my first interview. So I'm doing this with you too. So the 5 Deadly Venom questions. All right, I'm giving you one word, and you just answer it. And what's your knowledge about it? You can do damn near 5 minutes about that segment. All right. So my first one is Tupac.
Tupac, legendary, visionary, political activist, great for everyone that ever had an opportunity to meet him in person in life. There was nothing fake about that dude. The things that he did, like the way the media tried to play him out, like he was this thug because he represented thug life and all that, and then the music was gangster music, this is that. But if you look at the other side, it's two men in one, because the things that he did as far as songs like Brenda's Got a Baby, right. You're looking at A Changed Man, you know, things of that nature. Tupac, the foundation that he laid down, if the industry wouldn't have changed by him having the incident that he had that took him out of life, man, we all would probably be a lot more solid today than what it is right now.
You ever met him?
I never had an opportunity to meet Tupac. Pauly Macc did.
Pauly Macc did, yeah, he told me.
Yeah, I never had an opportunity to meet Tupac, but I was definitely one of his biggest fans, and I was real close to getting to a point to be able to actually meet him before he got killed.
Okay.
So,
now, my other question, Eazy-E, meet him or what?
Yeah, I met Eazy at a show me and Pauly Macc did at Thomas and Mack. That was the picture that you saw, you was talking about earlier.
Yes.
With him and Pauly. Yeah, that was at Thomas and Mack. We opened up for JJ Fad and DJ Train and
JJ Fad in here too, Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Run DMC, JJ Fad, N.W.A. Yeah, and we opened up for that show, and I met him, and I had a little short conversation with him backstage while we was all kicking back and chilling, you know, and he was a real solid dude. He didn't look down on nobody, you know what I'm saying? He was Eazy-E. He just was like, shit, I'm here for what I'm here for. Let's get this money.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Pat Williams.
Yes, sir. Who?
Pat Williams. That's my third question.
Pat Williams?
Pat Williams or Paps?
Oh, Pap.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you like this, bro. As far as Las Vegas history is concerned with gangs, that shit that was on Gangland, to me, bullshit.
Oh,
real talk. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know who the fuck that dude was. I know that Earl Cage and my boy Jamal was original motherfucking GQs. Now
GQ.
They was original GQs. They was the ones that put that whole Donna Street thing together.
AKA Donna Crip, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As far as dude doing Gangland and whatnot, I don't even know how the fuck that came about.
Rumor has it that the casino that he was robbing was Jerry Nugget, but I don't know. That's not for me to know. That was word out. You know what I mean? He needs to be more specific, but that's what I heard. Either silver, it was some nugget. There was silver nugget, either silver nugget, Jerry Nugget, or it was or golden nugget. I doubt golden nugget. Golden nugget, he would have been killed.
I'm gonna tell you that shit really did happen, but it wasn't no shit like that, man. It was a little ass bar off of Lake Mead in Inglestead, which is right next to Stop and Shop. They used to have a little ass bar right there. So they was up in there, and it was him and a couple of my OG homies from my set, I ain't gonna say no names.
Right.
And yeah, that did happen, but it wasn't no major motherfucking casino. It was a corner bar that damn near barely even existed. It was like only on the west side, and only niggas from the west side went to it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
so why I don't know why Gangland made it seem like a local casino and shit, like a big ass casino, but that was the rumor that and I'm not trying to stir no shit, okay, with no gang or nothing. It's what I heard on the street level. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm born and raised, and when I hear, well, I got my ear on the streets when they say, yeah, that Gangland episode, yeah, that little casino they were talking about, yeah, is that Jerry Nugget? I'm like, nah, I doubt it, man. You know, Jerry Nugget, yeah, and like he had to do stuff up on, he had him on hostage or whatnot. I don't know, man. It was a big deal with the situation.
All that really did happen. They had to stand off with the police. You know, one of my OG homies got shot in the back by the police trying to run away from their ass. Right. You know. So yeah, it did happen. He wasn't lying about that. It did happen. Okay. But as far as him starting the GQs, I don't know if that's true. I'm not from Donna. I didn't grow up in the Centennial Arms or whatever the hell their little projects is down there. I grew up in the Jets. So I don't know like the full history of Donna, but I know one thing, you know, damn it, I shouldn't have said my boy's name, but yeah. As far as I know, it was the Cages that really, you know, started to crank that shit up.
Now, this is my fourth one, Playboy Bloods.
Oh man, that's Trey's all day. That's Trey 5'7", Playboy Blood Gang. Me myself as a youngster of like 7, 8 years old, before there was even any motherfucking colors involved in gangbanging, was quoted as a baby PB. Pretty much helped start the baby PBs as far as I'm concerned. And the original PBs, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, we started out, our gang that we represent started out in 78.
Wow. 78.
Still strong. Yeah, still strong as far as solid, as far as, you know, these are the people that you say you have those best friends that you only fuck with, that you've been knowing for 25, 30 years. Those are the cats that I grew up with. And those are the cats that if you see me anywhere, you might see me with one of them or you're going to see me by myself.
All right, that is beautiful, man. You know, I didn't want to get too touchy on the gang aspect, but I just had to add those two names on the 5 Deadly Venoms. All right, so you know, just it's all love. It's no disrespect, no nothing. So don't bash me on that. You know what I mean? It's all love. It's all goddamn love because I got love for Vegas in general, all colors. You know what I mean? So I got love for Vegas. Vegas is my city. I was born and raised. So don't mess me up on that because I know my Vegas history, my damn self. Now my last.
And I'm gonna tell.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna say one more thing. I'm gonna tell the people this too. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the ones that do know me, the older cats, they already know where I'm from and how I carry myself and handle myself. I handle myself as a gentleman, and I give respect where respect is due. And I don't step on any toes. I lived on Donna after living in the Jets. I lived in the Jets for 26 years. And one of the first houses that my parents got was on Donna Street. And then I lived over there for 11 years on Donna. But, you know, not being a buster-ass motherfucker, I stay true to my shit. And it is how it is, and that's how it goes. So, and that's not being disrespectful to anyone. The ones that lived on Donna when I was down there, they know who I am.
Okay. Now, my last and most important question is, well, not question, it's the name. What is your connection with Doomsday Productions?
Oh, Eclipse. That's my guy.
We just met him.
Right around the corner.
We just met yesterday, and and I have to add this, okay, because this was very important to me in my life. I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life. You're part of my history, and we just met yesterday. So this is beautiful to me. I'm not gonna say where he works at because I don't want people to go and Doomsday fans to go look for him and shit. So if you want to talk to him, that's on your behalf. But I was not expecting to meet you, and on top of that, Eclipse to actually be added to the picture, and you two were just talking and adding some jewels on my knowledge. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I never thought in a million years that you two, a little history of Hood Things, a little bit of history of Doomsday in my presence yesterday. I was tripping the fuck out. I couldn't believe it, man. I damn near cried and shit, but I was too drunk. So I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So my question to you, my connection with Doomsday, man, what's up?
Okay, yeah. Well, Doomsday, I'm gonna tell you, when Doomsday came around, like, they were, in my eyes, in my dumb eyes, I guess, they were like rivals of me and Pauly, because we were from the West Side, they were from North Town. They had Gangster Blacc backing them, and
Gangster Blacc Productions.
Talent show. Yeah, Gangster Blacc Productions. We used to do talent shows together, man. And at Las Vegas High School, the original Las Vegas High School downtown.
Wow.
And it was always, because them dudes is gangsters, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't fucking around. Them dudes are serious about their thing. And, they come in, they had like the prison type uniforms, the lokes and shit, them long curls and the Raider hats, and they looking at you like, yeah, we'll fuck you up.
and they were known as, they were not known as Doomsday Productions at the time. They were known as Raiders of Doom.
Raiders of Doom, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the beginning of the connection. But then, like I said, when I moved out of the Jets and moved down to Donna Street off of Stone River, I lived right around the corner from where Eclipse mom was living.
Yeah.
And I would go knock on his door, and he would welcome me with open arms, and we would sit down and we would just chop it up, man. Drink a couple of beers or something, and just have a good little whatever it was. If it was only 10 or 15 minutes or an hour, you know what I mean. That dude was always good to me, and he always gave me respect, and I always have given him respect. So, and the same thing with Playboy 7. I didn't really get to meet Pitt and have a close relationship with him. I would only like see him in the studio. But big love for the Raiders of Doom, we're gonna say. The originals, Doomsday Productions.
Exactly, man. And shouts out to Pitt, Apocalypse Pitt. Apocalypse Pitt is one of my homeboys, you know what I mean? Had a pleasure to do a song with him. But he's an actual homeboy. Shouts out to Marquise, his son, Lil Pitt. And Playboy 7, I had a pleasure to meet him as well. And Eclipse, man. Eclipse is the dude that, a lot of people know his voice with the screaming voice. He's pre-Lil Jon, you know what I mean, on the gangster tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's pre-Lil Jon with the gangster tip. So shouts out to Eclipse, you know what I mean? That's my boy right there for life. You know what I mean? He's doing his normal life now. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get too much into his life, but much more respect to the Doomsday Odyssey, you know what I'm saying? That was my boys, man. That's my favorite group. And to you, King Alski and the Hood Figures, thank you for your contributions of Las Vegas hip hop. For real, for real.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Remember back to the beginning for 2 seconds. There would be, and I want everybody to know this. I want everybody to know this. There's a lot of people that don't know this. There would not be any Las Vegas hip hop if it was not for DJ Frankie Annable and DJ Rob Hathcock. And yes, they are white boys. DJ Frankie Annable came from New York City. I don't know what city in New York. He came from New York and he brought the jams in the park to the city of Las Vegas and taught us the culture of hip hop as little boys and little girls. And they are legendary, and they are still active, and they are still major dudes out here. And they just had, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 months ago, they had the 35th year anniversary of hip hop being introduced into the city of Las Vegas. And the two first people that they contacted was me and Pauly Macc to come and show our face, and we both showed up, and we had an awesome time, and it was great. We saw a lot of people that we went to junior high school with and things of that nature, and it was awesome, man. So I want to say big shouts out to DJ Frankie and N.W.A for bringing hip-hop to the city of Vegas.
That's a round of applause right there. That's a round of applause. I did not know that. I got to do my research with them as well. That is beautiful, man. That's a beautiful thing. That's a great outro right there, man. And thank you so much. All right, like I said, you guys, everybody else from the 90s to the 80s, Stacy G, Silky D, you know what I mean? Man, I can mention much of Gangster Blacc Productions, just so many artists from the 90s to the early 2000s that pioneered this Las Vegas hip-hop history. Yes, we're not globally known, but yes, we are goddamn active like a motherfucker. And Dizzy Wright, thank you for your contributions to make it a little more known that there's talent in Las Vegas. Dizzy Wright, I give him a shout out for his contributions to the mainstream level, you know what I mean? But we still got more to go. We got still more to go, and we got still more legacies to conquer. So thank you so much, Alski, and I take this and I thank you for the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna shut this shit down right now. All right, thank you.
Thank you for having me, brother, and I appreciate you, and continue to do what you do, man, as far as being that hip-hop collector and spreading the knowledge of the game about Vegas and about hip-hop worldwide, because all in the end, the whole thing that the Zulu Nation is built on is peace, love, and unity in the community, and that's what it's about.
One love.